Good morning, everyone. It's the Lovewell team with our special guest today, Bill Jarvis with United Lending. Maggie's not able to join us because I think she's on a field trip to Muir Woods. I think Muir Woods. But the three of us are here. So Bill Jarvis is going to tell us the good, the bad, the ugly about interest rates, hopefully till the end of the year or something like that. Take it away, Bill.
Thank you. Well, unfortunately, probably a little more bad than good, but I think there is good coming. So the Feds lowered their interest rate by 0.5% at the most recent meeting. And often, as was the case this time, when they do that, the mortgage rates go up a little bit in the beginning for a variety of reasons, but it's pretty much happens every time. That typically we're anticipating more federal rate cuts and the mortgage rates coming down at some point. But for now, the conventional rates are just under 7%, 6.875. FHA has gone up to 6.25. So that FHA actually went up even more than the conventional from where it was. But it seems like the 10-year has been the 10-year treasury keeps going up, and so that's the one that's most closely with aligned with mortgage interest rates, and that one could come down. It keeps threatening to come down and just not quite making it under 4%. So that could happen in the next few weeks. It's likely the Fed will continue to lower rates. Probably one more time this year, and it's expected more next year. So I do think rates will come down. As always, the big caution with that is don't wait to buy a house till the rates come down, because when the rates come down, the prices go up. So if you can buy a house, and when the rates come down, refinance and enjoy that you bought the house for, whatever, 10% less than it would be that day when the rates are lower. So
what's the saying? You date the rate and you marry the house.
That's right. So it is expected the rates will come down sometime next year. So, and probably fairly significantly. I'm thinking low fives, and
really,
so
you're talking about going down
probably like not that far away. Like within the next 6 months.
So you're saying it could go from almost 7 to 5.5?
I'm thinking under, but I've been wrong. I'll be right eventually, but it's not not today. So
all right. Well, thank you, Bill.
Sure. Hopefully better news next time. Hopefully.
What's the magic? Because sometimes people ask me, what's the magic number for credit score? Like, to get that best interest rate, what kind of a credit score rating should you have?
Anything with FHA. So FHA has 3.5% down payment. Anything over 680 is really good. And there actually isn't that much of a hit down to 640. So 640 totally works for FHA. And you can go lower, but then the rate starts getting affected. With conventional, 720 is pretty important. There's you get a tiny bit better at like 760, but 720 is a pretty important number. And then 680 is the next one.
So 680 for FHA and 720 for conventional. So if you have credit score of 700, you'll do okay, but
you'll do okay. And there's little price differences almost every 20 points on conventional. FHA, you pretty much get the same rate if you're 680 or higher. If you had an 800 credit score, it doesn't do
is it 680 the same for VA?
The same for VA, yeah.
Okay.
And the VA hits for lower credit scores are actually a little bit less than the FHA. So if for most people that are going to have a small down payment who are VA, that's definitely the way to go. If you have a bigger down payment, we can start looking at the numbers and doing the math to see if you're better off with FHA or conventional. But for most VA buyers with 20% or more down, probably are better conventional, but you know, I'd certainly look at it both ways. And the pricing changes. So sometimes there's a huge gap between FHA and conventional. There isn't as big of a gap right now, but there have been times, even in the last year or two, where even a conventional buyer that would pay a lower mortgage insurance oftentimes was better off with an FHA loan just because the spread in the rate was so big. So that's not the case right now, because the FHA requires an upfront mortgage insurance premium that's significant.
That's what I was gonna ask you, because isn't that FHA, you should mention that FHA mortgage premium, how much is that again?
1.25%. So
So
that's
whatever your loan amount, you're gonna add 1.25% upfront as a closing cost?
yeah, it's added to the loan.
And then don't you pay so much a month too?
Yes.
So it's 1.25 plus. So
Plus
much.
monthly. So and the monthly, the FHA mortgage insurance premiums come down some. So it's typically, for people with good credit, still a little bit more than the conventional mortgage insurance. On a conventional loan, any loan above 80%, you pay mortgage insurance.
Right.
But there have been times, like I say, recently, where the interest rate spread was so big, it for most people probably made sense to get that. Right now, the rate is a little bit more than 0.5% with FHA. But you know, I'm assuming, I'm hoping most people that get any loan right now are going to be refinancing in the next year or two. So
okay, so if you had a loan of 500, if you had a loan of 500,000, and on top of the PITI, how much would you pay extra each month for the FHA mortgage premium or whatever that is?
It's complicated because the conventional mortgage insurance is not a set amount. There's a lot of variables based on credit score and the exact loan to value.
Okay.
So that's a case by case, but oftentimes it's very, very similar. The monthly.
Would you say between 200 and 300 a month more?
No, on a regular size loan, less than that, but
okay.
That would be on a larger loan.
Okay. That's all my questions. So thank you very much, Mr. Bill. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Till the next time.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Okay, we are going to jump in and go through quickly the data released by our local real estate association, Bay East. It's always interesting to see the numbers, and there's not a clear trend with all the cities. Definitely some are doing similar patterns to each other, and others are doing very different patterns. So we'll just kind of look at each one and we'll go through it. Okay, so beginning with Fremont in the southern part of Alameda County, prices appear to be going down, which again, this time of year, sometimes there's a little burst in October and September once people are back in, kids are back in school, but sometimes prices just start going down. So Fremont definitely seems to be, prices are going down and pendings are going down. So I would expect at least until January, February, that they will probably continue that way. Hayward, very opposite of Fremont. Seemed like it really came down August, but it's coming back up. So that might be doing the end of the, not the end of the season, but like the little beginning of fall burst. And pendings are going up. So prices could go up for a little while. Although again, typically we see this change come November, December, and we'll see if that happens or if it'll keep going up.
How's for inventory?
Inventory is 88. So definitely increasing, which it's going to put pressure for prices not to go up too much because people have more options. And Fremont inventory, going back really quick, is at 78, which is actually the highest it's been all year. And same thing, actually, Hayward inventory is the highest it's been all year. And actually, that's the one thing that's consistent so far. Castro Valley inventory is at 54, so that's the highest it's been all year, and shows prices are flat, although pendings are going up. So prices could go up, but again, with inventory increasing, it's probably unlikely, but we'll see. San Leandro, though its peak for inventory, it looks like it was in July and June. So it's down a little bit, still high, but not as high as it once was. And prices seem like they're shifting up a little bit, although pendings are fairly flat. Alameda inventory is 33. The peak was 38 in June, so down a little bit, although it had increased August, it was lower. And it shows a decrease at the end of July and a slight uptick, kind of similar to San Leandro right now, although their pendings are also going up. Oakland, similar with the little like August, September burst. Seems like things are starting to come up, although their inventory also is at a peak right now of 596 for the year. So again, expect that prices might start to shift the other way, but we'll see. And Berkeley, the inventory also is the highest it's been. Well, actually, I take that back. In May, it was 73, and then it came down. And in August, end of August, it was just 58, but it's up to 72. So definitely is increasing. But prices are also going up. Pendings are going down. All these different factors. But again, it seems like with inventory going up and pendings going down, we may see a shift the other way. Although we have a property right now in Kensington that very close to Berkeley, which is getting a lot of good attention. Definitely seems like there's still a good amount of demand there. Moraga seems like prices are just steadily going down, no sudden changes. And its inventory was the highest in May at 21. It's now at, or at least at the end of September, it was 17. And their pendings are also appeared to be going down. Pleasanton, like everyone, many of the cities, we see a little uptick since August, September has hit. Its inventory, the highest was in June at 87. It is down at 70, which is still, relatively high. This time last year, it was only 39. So definitely twice as high as it was last year at this time. So we'll see. Again, it shows that prices are upticking right now, and maybe they'll come up a little bit more. But I think once we hit November, December, typically we usually see prices start to come down. And lastly, Livermore, even though it's right next to Pleasanton, it's kind of like Fremont and Hayward, which are very similar and close to each other. Seems to be the opposite of Pleasanton. Prices had hit a peak in July, and since August, September, seem like they're just coming down. Pendings are going down. Their inventory is at 77. The peak was in July at 83, but the inventory is still high relatively for what it was last year at this time was 53. So those are the numbers. Yeah, it's really, depends on the city, depends on the area, depends on the home, because we have homes that are sitting and we have homes that, again, I expect we're going to get multiple offers. So it all just depends, area, city, condition of the home, all these different factors. So
all the check boxes have to mark.
yes,
It's like,
yes.
but it seems like, at least in the different agents I've talked to, the sales that are happening, but there was only one. Janella had one that had 6 offers, but most of them seem to be getting 1 to 2 offers. So it seems like 1 to 3 is kind of the norm, at least for now. So that's it. I really feel this is like the quiet before the storm, because it's like, I always feel this is a good time for buyers to buy, because like our one client was able to buy and he was the only person that wrote on the house. So sometimes you just have to be lucky and just, yeah, if you find something like a little hidden gem that everybody's missing, it's like, it's sitting there. And he did pretty good. I mean, I think his interest rate at the time, because Bill just shared with us that they're now closer to approaching the 7 mark, like 6 point something. I think he got his like at 6 1/4. So that's pretty good. So timing is everything. So I think that's it. It's happy, hard to believe that Halloween will be here like in 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So all the kids will be out there trying to get all that good loot and candy. So that's all for me. So happy October, happy fall, until we see you again in November.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.